got a few speakers left who are folks who live this every day and can tell you their story of how important these reforms are. We're going to start with Vic Davis from the Spirit of God Fellowship in Gary, Indiana. Thank you, Vic.
Well, I recognize all of our leaders, legislators, senators, all of you who are doing so much work down the state here. We applaud your effort. I've lived in Gary for 45 plus years. I've been to, I don't know how many superintendents. I've seen so many different models, cutting edge educational programs that have come and gone. And I stand here grieved at the fact that every 10 years we lost a generation of our students who are undereducated and unfit to take their rightful place in the advancement of this nation. And I'm here to say, with the rest of the people in our state, it's time for a change. We've suffered long enough. We have suffered long enough at the hands of educational establishments that has worked from the top down. Year after year, decade after decade, the educational elites have promised new programs, new approaches, cutting-edge models, and they have solicited our money, our patience, and more importantly, the sacrifice of our precious kids into their programs. Well, today we come to say, enough. Enough of the top-down approach. Enough of we got your best interests at heart. Enough of the excuses and the empty promises. Now is the time to give back to the parents their God-given right to choose. We need to restore to them their right to choose for their present children where they're going to be educated and how their educational taxes are going to be used. It's time that the people who have the greatest, I believe, personal, financial, and moral investment in their children to be given a voice and a choice. And we are here to say that as any other parents, we deserve to choose what's best for our children. I say this. Our voice is parental choice. Our voice is parental choice. Our voice is parental choice. Thank you.
Next up, Lori Yanich, a Spanish teacher from the Charles A. T. Mason Grad School. Laura.
So how did Denise make it?
Wow, it's been a big day. How exciting to be part of this. I am so humbled and honored to stand here before this legislative body that's pushing forth what we need to happen. And I just want to say thank you to Dr. Tony Bennett for saying what I wanted to say for so long. I wanted to look teachers, colleagues in the eye and say, get out of the classroom. Don't be in my profession. You don't deserve to be here. May 2011, I turned my back on education. I said I'm not going to do it anymore. I've been in public. I've been in private. It's not working for me. I'm working. You're not. You're out the door at 3. I'm going to share with you a real quick story of my public experience. I had a colleague say to me, gosh, you know, I don't know why you work so hard. You know, I mean, it's not like you're curing cancer or anything. I started to shake, and I looked her in the face and I said, you're right. I'm not going to cure cancer, but one day, one of my students might. This complacency in public education has festered, and it is not fair for teachers, for parents, and for kids to tolerate it any longer. I had a choice, I chose Charles A. Tinley Accelerated Blue Ribbon School of Excellence, where I'm appreciated, respected, and treated with dignity by my administration, by my colleagues. I've never had that before in 15 years. I'm humbled to stand before you today, and I want to thank you for this opportunity to share my story. God bless America, God bless Indiana, and God bless our kids.
Thank you, Laura. Next up, Jackie Cecil Mayo, a lifelong advocate for education. Come on, Jackie.
Good morning, everybody. So excited to see everybody here. 11 years ago, I, along with Dr. Howard Fuller and education reformers from around the country, started the Black Alliance for Educational Options. Our mission is to increase access to high-quality educational options for Black children by actively supporting parental choice policies and programs that empower low-income and working-class Black families. Mayo believes all children deserve equal educational opportunities. We focus on providing these opportunities to low-income and working-class Black families whose children are in the greatest academic need. We're happy to join with our partners to say that we are thrilled with the aggressive agenda to create more educational opportunities here in Indiana. We want to say a great big thank you to Governor Mitch Daniels, to Superintendent Bennett, to Speaker Bosma, and all of the legislators who have the courage to bring much-needed reform to Indiana. We cannot afford to continue to wait for theories and ideas to work while we continue to lose our kids to the abyss of education failure year after year. We must move on what numerous studies and research prove work, and that is to create educational choices and letting parents choose what works for their kids. The recent stalemate that just happened reminded me of Governor Wallace standing in the door of a school, blocking Black kids from entering the school. It was a painful time in American history. Surely we don't want to repeat that. We encourage our legislators to move on educational freedom for our parents and for our children. And one more thing, parents are fighting all over this nation. The fight today is in D.C. The Opportunity Scholarship Program is on life support in Washington. Our president and special interests are trying to kill the program. Please call your representative when you get back home and ask them to support the Opportunity Scholarship Program in Washington for those families. Thank you.
Jackie. Next up, Jeremy Cowan.
Representative Bosma, senators, citizens, and my kids, thank you so much. I'm honored to stand before you and speak with you today. When Governor Daniels was asked this week if he thought walkouts were the norm, he answered, let's hope it isn't. That's why I think it's very important that the public be heard. I think it's important that fines be levied, and I think it's essential that we not succumb to these tactics. We, the citizens of this great state, must speak loudly today and keep speaking until we are heard. We must encourage Governor Daniels, House Majority Leader Bosma, our senators, our representatives to continue to be men and women of their word, men and women of courage and conviction. We must challenge them to not succumb in any way to those who have resorted to childish playground tactics, to those who would attempt to subvert the democratic process by abandoning their responsibilities that they were elected to fulfill and leaving the state. Contrary to the democratic process that we believe in. We must stop bending to the pressure of those who would ignore the will of children in this state. We must challenge those we have elected to represent us to not concede the will of the people of this state and the opportunity for every child to receive an excellent education. I would say as well, we must not allow these great legislations to be watered down. We can't water down the school voucher bill to cap it at just 7,500 students as it stands today. There are currently 1.4 million school-age children in the state of Indiana. Providing vouchers to just 1/2 of 1% of the school-age children in this state is not school choice. Our children deserve better than that. We must challenge you to not allow restrictions to be placed on school choice that rule out many of our excellent private and charter schools. That is not school choice. We must continue to work diligently to provide our families with the opportunity to choose an excellent education for their children. We must level the playing field. Competition breeds excellence. Make schools compete, and in doing so, hold schools accountable to the parents they serve. My school, Liberty Christian School. We're in a community where our current graduation rate in our public schools is 57%, and only 52% of students passed the I-STEP last year. Our children deserve better than that. Yet just beyond the financial reach of many is Liberty Christian School and other private schools in our community. They are beyond the reach because our average household income is $36,700 per year. Yet our I-STEP passing rates were 81% in algebra, 91% in English. In our school, and many private Christian schools and private schools in our community like us graduate almost 100% of our students. Private schools are striving to make excellent education available to the families in our communities. School choice scholarships will move Indiana forward in supporting our families and their right to an excellent education. It will make it possible for every family to afford an education that has been out of the reach for far too long. Will this cut the amount public schools receive? Perhaps. But Liberty and schools like ours have been offering an amazing education for years for far less dollars per child. As a result of a struggling economy, we understand there is no valid excuse for settling for less achievement on the part of our teachers and our students. Our children are far too important for that. Our private school, like many in the state, stand head and shoulders above those in our community. We can't afford the technology the public school system has, yet we are more successful. Our teachers make between $20,000 and $25,000 per year, and we are more successful. Almost 100% graduate and attend college each and every year, and there are many other schools just like Liberty throughout our state. We must give families the opportunity to choose what is best for their children. That concern me greatly from those who are afraid to entrust parents with the opportunity to choose a school that is best for their children. I'll not forget hearing Bob Shannon, the retiring lawyer for the National Education Association, say, despite what some among you would think, would like to believe, it is not because of our creative ideas, it's not because of the merit of our positions, it's not because we care about children, it is not because we have a vision of great public schools for every child. NEA and its affiliates are effective advocates because we have power. I'll not soon forget hearing one of the state representatives in the Education Committee this year of the House of Representatives say, we need to stop hiding behind children. This is about money. We must continue to proclaim very loudly and very clearly, this is not about power. have an opportunity to receive the very best education in their community. We must stop throwing money at failing schools, hoping to make them successful. We must stop defending the status quo. We must make the very best education available to every child in the state. We must give our families school choice. Thank you.
She's experienced private schooling, homeschooling, virtual schooling, and now her schools are public school. I love her.
Good afternoon. I was asked to speak just a short time ago, so you have to excuse me. I don't have any formal written thing for you. I'm not a paid person here in this room. I'm a parent. I've been a parent volunteer with organizations that are in this room for the past 4 years. I had no training to do that beyond being thrown right into the fire. I've had people in my local school district say, "You live in one of the best school districts in the state of Indiana. What are you complaining about?" And I look at them and I say, "Well, I'm sorry, but this school district is not the only school district in the state of Indiana. There's thousands of other school children that aren't being represented, whose needs are not being met. So I am more than glad to volunteer my time and do my very best to let the parents' voice be heard. And I would encourage you, as a parent, to not let this place or any of these people intimidate you, because our leaders and our legislators would rather hear our voices over any paid lobbyists. I guarantee you, 100%. Last week I sat in an appropriations committee that took, I think, about 6 hours to get through all the testimony, and I really appreciated Senator Kenley sticking with it and allowing all of the testimony to be heard. I was able to get up and share my little bit, my experience. Now, as it was introduced, I have 4 children. They range from a sophomore in college to a kindergarten. So I'm one of those parents that the people that are against this don't like, because usually parents are in it for the short haul and their kids roll out of the system and they think, oh, you know, they're going to be around too long. I was thinking, a person like me, I'm going to be around a long, long time. So if we can get more people here, if we can get everyone to get past that, I don't know who my senators are, I don't know who my legislators are, speak up. We've got all of these organizations that are more than glad to help you in every way possible, and if we all work towards the happiness and the achievements and the opportunities for our children, we can't help but be a great success. I'm very proud to be a resident of the state. I'm proud that we're being leaders in this nation, and I thank you all very much for coming.
Thanks again, everybody, for being here. We say thank you to our legislators again. I want to give some quick thank yous to all the organizations that were part of this School Choice Indiana, the Foundation for Educational Choice, the Indiana Charter School Association, Students First, Democrats for Reform, the Black Alliance for Educational Options, Stand for Children, the Indiana Non-Public School Association, the Catholic Indiana Conference, the Catholic Conference, Choice Charitable Trust, Indiana Virtual Families, Out Israel, the Chamber of Commerce, K-12, Advance America,